Canon has released what it calls its smallest professional camera ever. It's the XA10. Now I've had one for a couple of weeks and we took it north to Arkaroola in the Flinders Ranges to give it a test drive. I used it to shoot both video and still, and I'd have to say I was really impressed.
I really like the huge front ring. It can be multifunctional, but I'd leave it for manually focusing. The lens is brilliantly wide at 30mm and goes 10 times for optical and 20 times using the built-in 2x teleconverter. It's a digital jump, but it works with no visible loss. My only issue here is that it's a software switch. I'd really prefer a hard button on the outside like the HV40, but it's a minor quibble. The camera fires up in a zillionth of a second and can be recording inside a second. This is the beauty of flash-based cameras, they're really fast. You can also pre-record for 3 seconds continuously so you miss nothing. What this means is it records 3 seconds to a buffer and then to the hard drive when you hit the button. Perfect for those times you're waiting for some action. Now you don't have to record endlessly.
Under the bonnet it's running AVC HD at 24 megabits a second at the fast end. You could idle at 5 if you want to, but I can't really see any point. Battery life is long too because it's all flash drive. You should never run out of power and you should never run out of storage.
The LCD is huge and easily used even in bright light. The screen is crystal clear and has excellent colour reproduction. It has all the new generation of touchscreen controls, but most can be set and forget, which is a good thing. It has a viewfinder that also marks it as a pro camera and it's activated by pulling it out. A minor bug here is that it doesn't tilt up like its big brother the XF300. Still, at this price you can't have everything, and at least it's padded. Playback is very cool on the screen. Good images, and it's interesting how they've adopted the iPhone-like method of going through the images. Swish across to change groups that are arranged by date order. I like the icon look, but you can have this neat stacked approach too. Either way, it works really well.
The XA10 fits into a family which now includes the XF100, 105, the XF300 and 305, the bigger cameras. Now they run MXF format, 422 colour space at 50 megabits a second, whereas the XA10 is recording to SD cards, not CF cards, 24 megasecond. Doesn't really matter, the pictures are superb and this camera is going to do a lot of work.
One of the big selling points is the handle. It's removable and screw mounts onto the body. Apart from the obvious ergonomic value of this, it houses the full Pro XLR inputs and switches for Pro audio. That gets it from domestic to Pro camera in one jump. It also has the typical zoom rocker switch and stop start button. Every camera should have a zoom rocker switch like this one. The XA10 has a truly fabulous stabiliser. It's optical as usual, but then there's the powered edition. Hold down the button on the LCD door and it's activated. I found I could shoot seriously zoomed in, hit the power switch, take a breath, hold it steady, and it's very close to rock solid. These air-to-air pics easily demonstrate the power of the XA10 stabilisers. It did help that the Nangchang is a very stable aircraft, but even so, movement was the whole plane and not the camera. It's brilliant. It also takes very good still frames. So good in fact that when I printed the batch out to show friends, I couldn't tell which came from the XA10 and which came from my EOS 450. They are awesome. Storage is to the built-in 64GB flash drive or the twin SD slots. You should never run out of recording media. The good news for those on a budget is that there's a domestic version for nearly $1,000 less than the XA10. It has half the internal storage, which is no real big dilemma for home use, but it also doesn't have the handle. No XLR inputs, no rocker switch, no start-stop on the top, and none of the ergonomic benefit of having the handle. For a domestic home camera though, it would be brilliant.
Now I'd have to say I'm seriously impressed. I haven't seen a small camera hit the benchmark so well since the Panasonic GS400 a few years ago, which sort of set the mark for small SD cameras. This one is going to hit the mark for small AV-CHD high-def cameras. It's very versatile and incredible value for money, and I would rate this one a 9 out of 10. The only small things are I'd like to see a tilt-up viewfinder, I'd like to see more external controls that are hard, less software switching, less having to go to the LCD, but really these are minor quibbles and would probably just make it more expensive. This is a brilliant little camera. and I want one.